My brothers in this, y'all this nigga black my eye, man. I don't want to talk. Go get my shake back. Go get it.
Hello. Youngboy is really out here treating his own crew like they his little soldiers. But this time, he went way too far. We got footage showing NBA Youngboy straight up putting hands on NBA Ben 10, one of his closest homies. And this clip is blowing up online for all the wrong reasons. This wasn't just a quick argument, it turned into a full-on brawl. YB and Ben 10 got into it so bad that Ben walked away with a black eye, and from what insiders say, he got kicked clean off the tour right after. That's wild enough already, but what really got people talking is what started the whole mess. Some wrinkled clothes. Yeah, for real. Word is Ben 10 accidentally sat on YB's outfit, got it all wrinkly, and YB lost it completely. In the leaked footage, you can hear YB yelling, "Ain't no seats for my coat," and "You my dan am dead," like he's snapping on one of his ops instead of his boy. Sources say that yelling match turned into a heated fist fight.
Alright, shoot for my clothes, shoot! My fucking dead! Ain't no seats for my clothes.
One that might just tear apart the 4KT camp for good. This ain't your usual backstage scuffle. It's pulling the curtain back on how YB really treats his people, and it's ugly. Fans been whispering for months that YB got serious control issues, but now the proof is right there on video. Let's break this all down, because this fight between YB and Ben 10 shows exactly how toxic things have gotten inside his own circle. Now, before we dive too deep into the fight, you gotta understand who Ben 10 really is, and why this whole thing is such a shock. Ben 10, real name Benjamin Fields, ain't just some tag-along rapper trying to ride a wave. He's been tight with Youngboy since they were little, both coming up out of Baton Rouge. These two been through everything together. The street life, the come-up, the court cases, all of it. Ben 10's loyalty ran deep. He's been in YB's videos, been on his tours, and he was part of that inner circle of 4KT from the jump. When YB was locked up or fighting cases, Ben 10 was one of the dudes holding it down, repping hard for the camp. That's why this fight hit different. This wasn't a random argument, this was family turning on family. But here's where it gets real. People close to Ben 10 say this didn't come out of nowhere. They claim Ben been getting fed up with how YB talks to and treats his crew. Dude felt like he'd earned his stripes, but YB kept talking to him like he was a little kid. Over time, that disrespect started eating away at him. And when pride and pressure mix, something's bound to explode. This clash between YB and Ben 10 ain't just about a wrinkled outfit. It's about power. It's about one man running everything his way, and what happens when someone finally stands up to him. Ben 10 wasn't no yes man, and that independence might have been the last straw that pushed YB over the edge. And now, that one fight might have cracked the foundation of YB's whole empire, because once your own crew starts questioning your leadership, things never go back to how they were. According to multiple sources, this was just the first spark, and it's about to get way messier. It all went down backstage right before YB's show, and what started as something small turned into straight chaos. Ben 10 had just sat down to chill for a second, but he ended up sitting on the wrong chair, the one where Youngboy had laid out his custom designer stage outfit. This wasn't no regular fit. We're talking about a $1,000 look, handpicked for that night's performance. When Ben 10 sat on it and left wrinkles, YB saw red instantly. The clip that's blowing up online shows the moment YB starts spazzing on him, yelling, "You said what I told you about my clothes? You my little daddy? Nah, fucking that my clothes." That video only shows the beginning though. What really went down behind the scenes was way more intense. YB's temper went from heated to explosive in seconds. Witnesses backstage said YB didn't just yell, he started going personal, bringing up old issues, old arguments, and basically embarrassing Ben 10 in front of the whole squad. It wasn't just about wrinkled clothes anymore. It was about power. It was YB reminding everybody who's the boss, making sure nobody even thought about questioning him. Then came the breaking point, the moment things got physical. After YB finished his rant, Ben 10 finally snapped back and said something that set everything on fire. Sources say Ben told him straight up, "I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm not gonna keep taking this." And that was it. YB lunged at him. The footage shows YB charging straight at Ben 10, throwing the first punch clean across his face. Ben was caught off guard, stumbling back while trying to block, but YB kept swinging, throwing wild punches while his people just watched in silence. The craziest part? Not a single person from 4KT tried to stop it. They all stood there frozen, watching their boss beat down one of their own like it was nothing. That silence said everything. It showed how deep YB's control runs. His crew so scared to move, scared to even speak. Nobody cared about Ben's safety, just YB's temper. The fight only stopped when security finally rushed in, pulling YB away. But by that point, the damage was already done. Ben 10 was left with a black eye, a busted lip, and his pride completely crushed in front of everyone he once called family. And what happened after made it even colder. Instead of owning up or trying to fix the situation, YB doubled down, acting like he was in the right. Word from people close to the situation says YB told his team straight up that Ben 10 was disloyal and disrespectful, and that he couldn't have anybody around who didn't know their place. That was the final blow. Ben 10 was immediately kicked off the tour. No warning, no talk, no nothing. His access pass, gone. His spot on the bus, gone. Overnight, he went from being one of YB's right-hand men to being completely cut off from 4KT. All that loyalty, all that history, erased over a wrinkled outfit and a few words said in frustration. What made it worse was how everyone else reacted. Instead of checking YB or standing up for Ben, they just followed orders. Silent, obedient, acting like Ben 10 deserved to get embarrassed and exiled. That's not brotherhood, that's fear. Straight psychological control. YB's people so deep under his influence, they'd rather watch a friend get humiliated than speak up. And here's the part that got fans really side-eyeing YB. This ain't even the first time something like this happened. Multiple people close to his camp claim YB's got a pattern of disciplining his own crew whenever he feels disrespected. They say he's put hands on his people before, treating them more like employees than brothers. DJ Academics himself confirmed what fans had been whispering for years. This wasn't just rumors. When AK visited Youngboy's house, he said he actually saw YB snapping on his own homies, yelling, and even putting hands on them. AK compared it to a father disciplining his kids, but what he really witnessed was something way darker, a full-blown power trip. It wasn't leadership, it was domination through fear. And if you've been following YB's camp, you already know this ain't new. Remember the Lil Dump situation? When Dump popped up with a busted lip and blood on his face, everybody instantly started connecting the dots. Folks suspected YB was behind it, but Dump never confirmed or denied a thing. That silence said everything. You could see it. That type of quiet comes from fear, not loyalty. It's like a pattern. YB doesn't see his people as equals or even business partners. He sees them as soldiers he can control, punish, and keep in check however he wants. The Ben 10 fight just brought all that toxicity out into the open, showing the world how deep the control runs inside the 4KT circle. But what's most disturbing about this whole Ben 10 situation ain't the punches. It's the psychology behind it. This wasn't about wrinkled clothes or even disrespect. It was about control. YB wanted to remind his people that no matter how close they think they are, he's the one in charge. And he can tear their whole world down if they cross him. Ben 10 gave YB years of loyalty, but that loyalty didn't mean a thing when it came time for YB to prove a point. By turning on Ben so publicly, YB sent a chilling message to everybody else around him. Don't ever forget who runs this. That's not leadership, that's intimidation. The craziest part? The rest of the crew just stood by like nothing happened. Instead of standing up for their boy, they were more worried about staying in YB's good graces. They watched one of their own get embarrassed and didn't move an inch. That's not loyalty. That's fear dressed up as respect. You can see how deep YB's psychological hold goes. It's almost like a survival system. He builds this environment where everyone depends on him. For money, fame, identity, everything. And once you're in that system, it's nearly impossible to stand up to him or walk away without losing it all. That's how control works. Not just through fists, but through dependence. From a business point of view, though, this is self-destruction in motion. Ben 10 wasn't just a homeboy. He was an asset. Someone who helped build 4KT's name, who brought loyalty, talent, and reputation to the brand. Losing him over something as dumb as wrinkled clothes shows a complete lack of real leadership. Instead of building up his people, YB's tearing them down, one by one. And now, the world's finally seeing what life inside that camp might really look like. And it's way darker than anyone thought. YB just showed the world that his ego means more to him than the very people who helped him rise to the top. That's wild, because that type of mindset doesn't just hurt feelings, it wrecks the whole foundation of his organization. When your crew sees you turning on the same folks who helped you win, it plants doubt everywhere. People start wondering, if he did that to Ben 10, what's stopping him from doing it to me? And now, the 4KT camp is looking shaky. This kind of behavior creates tension, paranoia, and straight-up fear. It's no longer about trust or brotherhood. It's about survival and staying on YB's good side. Plus, when something like this plays out in public for the whole world to see, it doesn't just hurt the inside circle, it crushes YB's reputation too. Who's gonna want to join his team knowing one wrong move could get them punched out or kicked off a tour? Nobody wants to risk that kind of embarrassment. And let's be real, this mess could come back to haunt him legally too. What YB did wasn't just handling business, it's assault. Doesn't matter if it's your homie, your cousin, or your employee, putting hands on somebody crosses that line. If Ben 10 ever decides to take this to court or file charges, YB could be looking at serious legal trouble. It's not just a bad look, it's a bad move all around. To make things worse, the footage going viral made everything 10 times more humiliating for Ben 10. Instead of people feeling bad for what he went through, social media turned it into a joke. Memes, comments, fake edits, all laughing at his pain like it's entertainment. That's the sad part about today's culture. Folks would rather clown the victim than call out the real problem. It shows how deep the normalization of violence in hip-hop has gotten. Instead of calling YB out for crossing the line, fans are praising him for keeping his people in check. That's not strength. That's toxicity on full display. Every time fans glorify stuff like this, it gives artists more reason to think it's okay to treat people however they want, as long as it makes headlines. And now, Ben 10 can't even quietly move on from this. His name's being dragged across every platform, and people keep bringing up the clip like it's a funny moment, not a real assault. Imagine the embarrassment of having your lowest moment turned into a viral meme. That type of public humiliation sticks. It follows you, it eats at your pride, and it can mess with your head long term. Meanwhile, YB might be thinking he came out looking strong, like he proved a point. But in reality, he's just exposed himself even more. That viral footage doesn't make him look powerful. It makes him look reckless and unstable. Sure, some fans might see it as dominance, but everyone else sees a man who can't control his temper or handle conflict like a professional. That's bad for business, and it's even worse for his public image. When you strip all this down, it comes to one big question. What does loyalty really mean in YB's world? Ben 10 was loyal for years. He supported YB through every trial, every beef, every comeback. But the moment he stood up for himself, he was branded as disloyal and tossed aside like trash. That says it all. YB's version of loyalty ain't built on respect or trust. It's built on control and submission. He doesn't want real loyalty, he wants obedience. Real loyalty means it goes both ways. You look out for each other, protect each other, and show respect even when you disagree. But in YB's world, it's his way or nothing. And as this drama keeps unfolding, it's becoming painfully clear. In that camp, loyalty don't mean love, it means fear. YB don't want friends. He wants followers who will take whatever he dishes out without a single question. He needs people who will bow down, stay silent, and never challenge his authority, no matter how wild or unfair things get. And the way his crew acted after what happened to Ben 10 proves it completely. They didn't say a word, didn't lift a hand. They just watched it happen like they already knew the rules. They know their place depends on how quiet they stay and how much disrespect they can stomach. But here's the truth. That kind of setup never lasts. One-sided loyalty always cracks eventually. You can only keep people under your thumb for so long before they snap or walk away. When folks start feeling trapped and unappreciated, that loyalty turns into bitterness real quick. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna get fed up. And when they do, the whole system starts to crumble. Now here's where it gets serious. This whole situation could have major legal consequences for YB. This isn't just drama for the blogs anymore. It's real-life law territory. What YB did to Ben 10 counts as assault, plain and simple. And because it's all on video, prosecutors wouldn't even need Ben 10 to press charges. The footage itself could be enough to open a case. Once that clip hit the internet, it stopped being a private fight and turned into evidence. And it gets worse. YB's not some regular dude off the streets. He's already on probation, which means even a small new charge could send him right back to prison. The system's watching him closely, and this kind of footage is exactly the type of thing they love to use against people with a record. If prosecutors decide to dig in, this fight could end up haunting YB for a long time. But that's not the only risk. There's a big financial side too. Ben 10 could hit YB with a civil lawsuit at any time. Assault, battery, emotional distress, the whole list. With YB's money and public image, this could easily turn into a massive payout or settlement. It's not just about pride anymore. It's about potential millions lost over a moment of ego and temper. And from a business angle, it's a total nightmare. No label, promoter, or sponsor wants to attach their brand to someone caught on camera beating up a member of their own crew. That type of bad publicity spreads fast, and big companies hate risk. They'll start backing away, canceling appearances, and rethinking deals before it costs them too. But here's the thing. This whole story isn't just about one fight or one bad decision. It's about something way deeper: toxic leadership. YB's showing the classic signs of someone who let power get to his head. Instead of inspiring loyalty through respect, he rules through fear and intimidation. That might make people obey in the moment, but it destroys trust in the long run. This kind of leadership always eats itself alive. You can't keep good people around when everyone's scared or walking on eggshells. Real leaders uplift their team. Toxic ones tear them down. And once that pattern starts, it never ends well. So yeah, YB might be sitting at the top right now, but if he keeps leading through threats and fear, that throne's not gonna last. Because at the end of the day, even the most loyal crew gets tired of surviving under pressure. And when they do, everything he built could come crashing down. YB's treatment of Ben 10 ain't just a personal issue. It shines a light on something way bigger happening in hip-hop culture. Too often, violence and toxic behavior get glorified, like it's part of the game, as long as the artist stays successful. People cheer it on instead of calling it out. That mindset makes it almost impossible for anyone inside that circle to speak up or break free. Because when abuse gets treated like discipline or realness, victims end up trapped in silence, and social media only makes it worse. The second a situation like this goes viral, it stops being private pain and turns into public entertainment. Millions of people watching, laughing, and reposting your humiliation like it's content. That's next-level trauma. It's not just a fight anymore. It's a memory you can't ever escape. For Ben 10, that clip is gonna follow him everywhere, turning one bad night into a permanent scar. But this whole thing doesn't just mess with Ben 10. It's shaking the whole 4KT camp. Inside the crew, people gotta be thinking, if YB could do that to him, what's stopping him from doing it to me? That type of fear spreads fast. When everyone's scared of being the next target, it kills creativity, kills trust, and kills loyalty from the inside out. Nobody's focused on doing good work. They're focused on surviving. You can't build anything solid in an environment like that. When folks are too scared to speak their mind or challenge bad decisions, the whole operation starts to fall apart. That's why toxic leadership never lasts. Fear can only keep people in line for so long before they either leave, rebel, or stop caring altogether. For Ben 10, though, this could be the start of something new. Yeah, the betrayal cuts deep, but stepping away from YB's shadow might actually save him in the long run. He's got a chance now to rebuild, to find his voice, his brand, and his confidence outside of that toxic system. It won't be easy, but it might be the best thing for his mental health and his future. Meanwhile, YB's the one who might end up paying the biggest price. Now that the world's seen how he treats his people, every move he makes will be under a microscope. Law enforcement, the media, and even his business partners are all watching closer than ever. One more wrong move and they'll be ready to bring it all down. This viral moment didn't just expose him, it marked him. At the end of the day, the whole YB and Ben 10 mess shows what happens when power goes unchecked. It's proof that success without emotional maturity always comes with a cost. Broken bonds, lost respect, and chaos behind the scenes. Because when you build your empire on fear instead of loyalty, it's only a matter of time before everything you built starts falling apart. YB might have won the fight with his fists, but he lost something way bigger. Respect. You can't buy loyalty, and once it's gone, it never comes back the same. Ben 10 wasn't just another crew member. He was family, someone who stood by YB from the jump. And for things to explode over something as small as a wrinkled outfit, that just shows how deep YB's anger and control issues really run. What went down backstage wasn't about fashion or pride. It was about ego. YB's reaction was way out of line for what actually happened. Instead of talking it out, he let his temper take control, showing everyone he can't handle even the smallest frustration without turning violent. That's not power. That's weakness in disguise. And for the younger fans watching all this unfold, this should be a wake-up call. Having fame, money, and status doesn't give you a free pass to mistreat people. Real leadership ain't about intimidation. It's about respect, patience, and knowing how to check your emotions before they destroy everything you've built. YB had the world in his hands, but this situation showed how quick it can all slip away when you don't control your own temper. The crazy part is, this viral fight changed both their lives forever. That footage will always be out there, burned into the internet, but it's gonna haunt them in completely different ways. For YB, it's solid proof of his toxic behavior, something that could follow him into courtrooms and label meetings, making business partners question if they can trust him. For Ben 10, it's a painful reminder that the person he called family turned on him in front of the whole world. That kind of betrayal cuts deeper than any punch ever could. Now the real question is, do you think YB was right for throwing hands with Ben 10? Or did he take things way too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story definitely ain't over. The way YB been treating the people closest to him is catching up fast. And when it finally hits, he might find himself standing alone, with nobody left to defend him. But let's keep it real. The real tragedy here isn't the bruises or the fight itself. It's the destruction of brotherhood, the loss of trust, and the exposure of a toxic system that keeps rewarding bad behavior as long as someone's on top. The hip-hop game needs better examples than this, because success built on fear and violence doesn't last, and it's not the type of culture we should be celebrating anywhere. Don't forget subscribe and comments. Thanks.